And then one of my favorite flows is as a product manager working very closely with engineering, we have a sprint retrospective. And this flow, I run this, our sprints are 3 weeks long. And so at the end of every sprint, and you can do this for projects, you can do this really for anything that you want, but we run this every 3 weeks in assembly, and it correlates with our meeting, our in-person meeting. And so people fill this out beforehand, and then we review it in our retrospective and talk about it. Just to kind of give you an idea, we have choose a GIF, so we can show you what that looks like in Insights. What went well, what could have gone better, all of these open-ended blocks. Something that I really, really love incorporating into this flow is at the end of every sprint, we recognize people on a day-to-day basis, but we incorporate giving recognition into our retrospective flow too. So an extra opportunity for people to shout out somebody that was extremely helpful or did something amazing in this sprint, explaining what the awesome thing is that they did, and then adding some trophies to make the celebration extra special. I've given out all of my points so far for this month, but ordinarily I would be able to put it in here. So looking at the analytics for this, we'll have a couple different types of blocks to look at. Our participation rate does not, our team is only about 30. So this is pretty accurate, but we have a lot of test people in our account. So my criteria is everyone in the organization. And so block by block, choosing the GIF. Right now, this just links to the GIF that you choose. In the future, this will be clickable. So you can, like, if you wanted to just quickly access the GIF that somebody posted, you can just click here. Maybe not the most useful thing, but it's there in case you do need to refer back to a specific GIF. We provide you the Giphy link. What went well, that's another open-ended one. I'll scroll all the way down to the person selection. So for this one, this will show you everybody and anybody who has ever been recognized in this flow. So if I wanted to break this down, like I just want to see an engineering who posted, like what did engineering have to say? So this will just show you who was recognized and the count of how many times you are recognized. So if you have a specific, if you're looking for how many times people in your team have been recognized, you'll be able to see it as part of this flow. And again, I'm going to get into the differences between this and celebrated teammate in a moment, but these analytics for this giving points and selecting people is available for all flows if you add that block. You can see what they put for why they gave them the points, and then you can see at the very bottom the total number of points people have received in the flow. So if you're curious, like who's not receiving points or who's not being recognized at all, you'll be able to see, like, okay, Sushma's gotten, she's given so many trophies, she's recognized so many people, who's not recognizing. All of this information is available to you to export directly here. So you'll be able to see all of the responses. And again, if you want to do a more thorough pivot table or any sort of filtering in Excel, you can do that with this. The data will be there as well. Talking about some of our most common use cases for flows, I demoed to you the employee MPS. Some of the other things that you might want to use is for an engagement survey, a new hire survey, an exit survey. And really the key to best practices here is to make sure that your blocks, the questions that you ask, are consistent over time. You don't want to, like, okay, I run it on April 1st, and then I'm going to change the data, change the blocks on May 1st, because you're not going to get consistent data from month to month. So just a general best practices tip is when you create your flow, make sure that you're really happy with the types of blocks, the amount of blocks that you have, because it can create some inconsistencies in the data over time. So the insights work best when nothing changes in the surveys, each time you run it. Of course, modifications are needed to be made if you need to change, the format of something, if you need to remove something, like that happens. Just the caveat is you might not get exact, month over month or quarter over quarter data that way.